Okay, so I'm back and let's take a look at what we did last time. So we learned how to work with lists. We created one list, banana, apple, pear, orange, and notice that actually the last time you saw it, it was formatted like this. But you can also, so in other words, the list looked like this. Um, but if you have long things, like long words as opposed to these very short words, maybe you don't want your list all to be in one line. So you can always add a return and then tab it over. So this will be useful in a second when we do something more with our lists. So you can make your list look like this. It's easier to read if you have very long things in your list. And we learned how to generate a random thing from the list. So let's take a look at what my idea is for our game. My idea for the game is that when the person guesses a number that is not correct, I want the computer to insult them and actually say, you made a mistake. So let's talk about how I want to do that. I'm probably going to use something called a function. Now, a function is a piece of code that you're going to use over and over again that you can call from somewhere else in the program. So let me just show you what a function might look like. Let me just move all this stuff down. All right, so let me show you a function. So define add to, okay? And I'm going to say that it takes two things. It takes a, or it takes number 1 and number 2. Then I'm going to put a colon, and I'm going to define what this function does. So here's what it does. It says print number 1 plus number 2. And that is my entire function. So now when I want to run something, I can actually run a program that calls add to. So let's say this is my main program here, and I say number, big number equals 200 and small number equals 50. Then I can say add to big number, comma, small number. What this will do is it will actually call this function here and add the two numbers together and print them. So I've created a function that I'm going to call. Now I don't want any of this stuff down here to actually happen, so I'm going to just hide all this, especially this part here, because I don't want any of this stuff to happen. I just want this stuff to happen to show you how to use functions. So I'm going to go ahead and hit run, and it added them together, 250. So add to is a function that I created. How about if I create a new function called subtract to? All right, define the new function, subtract to, and number 1, number 2. And what I want this to do is I want it to print number 1 minus number 2. Okay, so add to would be 250, and sub to, big number, small number, should get us, let's see, 200, I don't teach math, but 200 minus 50, I'm thinking that's 150. Let's see, so it should get us to 250 and 150. 250, 150. All right, so all this is showing you how you can create and use a function. So now what I want to do is I want to create a function called insult. So I'm going to go here, delete all this stuff, and I'm going to say define insult. And it doesn't need any input whatsoever. Okay, it's just going to print out an insult that is telling the user, like, you made a big mistake. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to define an insult function, and basically what this is going to do is this is going to return